Myles, what are your thoughts about matching up against a rookie offensive tackle playing his very first game?
I think it's a great opportunity for me and him. Being able to play against a young guy, get to learn him as we go. He has a lot of tape on me, but he doesn't have a lot of experience with edge rushers in the league. But I don't. Also, and vice versa, I don't have a lot of tape on him as far as how he's handling pass rushers on this level and what he can do. So it's going to be a little bit new for both of us, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
Both Joe Woods and Kevin Stefanski said this week that you've taken your game in practice to another level that they haven't seen before. Do you see it that way? And if so, what do you attribute that to?
Just doing my thing the best as I can. So as far as taking it to another level, that's always the goal and what I'm trying to do. Just get it 1% better each day, even if it's 0.01%, whatever I can do to work on my craft and perfect something that I didn't yesterday. That's everything that I'm trying to do with after practice and while I'm in practice, and I think it's been paying off a little bit. But I'm glad these guys are noticing.
Off of that, Joe Woods said dominant. He feels like you really want to take that step to be that dominant player. Is that something that drives you?
Always. I want to be the most dominant force on the field whenever I play, no matter whether it's offense, defense, doesn't matter. So glad to be recognized, but it takes these next 17 games and hopefully some more for that to actually mean something.
And you've mentioned about getting that vote for defensive player of the year. You've never even gotten one. How much of a motivating factor is it to just win that award?
Well, go from no votes to winning. It should be something special, and it'll definitely be on my mind.
Myles, speaking of votes, Kevin Stefanski told us he has seasoned captains for the first time since he's been here, and you're one of them. What did that mean to you?
It means a lot. Being respected by your peers and appreciated for the leadership that I've showed and the time that I put in. And these are a special group of guys. Some of the best group that I've been around, and so being honored among them is a really high honor for me.
Has it been important for you to continue to grow in that way every year?
Yes. Always growing as a leader, growing in my mentality, attitude, how I come and how I leave work each day. So just trying to keep that consistency, day in and day out, and put my money where my mouth is. Probably meant a little bit more than being named captain, just because that's the community. That's bigger than football and what I'll go on to do on the field. And that's me and the city of Cleveland, and hopefully something that we'll share for however long my career lasts here. So I'm just looking forward to the opportunity to continue to help the youth grow and help their education, help them enjoy going to school and appreciate being around their friends and their peers.
Obviously, the talk this week facing Baker, so how much are you looking forward to the matchup Sunday and game after?
My matchup is really the left tackle, left guard, center, and the defense matchup is their offense. I don't think I'm going after one man in particular. I'm supposed to take more than a couple down. They have receivers, tight ends, wide receivers, running backs and quarterbacks. So there's a lot of guys who we got the bullseye on. So it's not a matter of just going after one guy.
Do you think that you and Baker will shake hands after the game or talk to each other or greet each other in any way?
If the opportunity arises, then sure. But after the heated battle, whatever happens. But we'll see after the game, and I know it may be a good day after seeing me, it may not. So we'll see.
You mentioned there are other guys other than Baker to deal with. Obviously, number one is Christian McCaffrey. Just the challenge that he presents and how he can wreck an athlete just all by himself.
He has that dynamic as they come. He's been a very special player. He's been plagued with some injuries, but it's when he's on the field, you always know he's there. You're always aware, and you have to keep a guy or two, with their eye on him, just because he's a special athlete. And he's able to make some plays that not a lot of players in this league can make. So, we're definitely watching him and, turning our scheme a little bit towards him just because we know how dominant he can be once he gets a real rhythm out there.
What makes him that way?
He kind of got an ability to run the ball well, catch the ball well at the backfield. Not only short routes but deep routes. Great center of gravity and balance. Got a multitude of moves. He's really got the whole package.
You talked about growing as a leader. How have you changed as well?
I think the main thing was the consistency. Anybody can be a leader for a day or two, but being a leader every day of the week. Always checking on your teammates, being there when they need you. It's part of things in the offseason, taking them out, working out with them, making sure that they're not slacking off, and I don't have the opportunity to slack off either. I can't be telling them to come in and work out and I be late or I miss. So it's always been about having that same message, that same attitude of taking us to the top and meeting it.
What told you that you needed to do that you needed to change in that way? Anything in particular?
Our record last year.
Myles, we're going to talk to Denzel more today too. He missed part of training camp and everything. Does he look great or what do you?
He looks good. He might have got a nice little ball caught on him today, but other than that, he's looked very sharp. I think he's got his legs underneath him. His wind's good, so I don't think there's any concern about any of those guys back there playing a very high quality game.
And I want to ask you for your perspective because you got the contract extension 3 years ago. He got one in April. Did you feel any kind of added responsibility when he got it, and do you see any of that kind of processing in his mind?
No. I didn't feel any way towards it.
No?
I felt like I was happy for him. I told him congratulations, and I told him that now you gotta show up every day. And they gave you a little bit. Now you gotta give so much time and effort. That means you gotta step up a little bit more. And it was the same with me. I felt like at the end of the day, when someone gives you something, you gotta give them a little bit more in return, or twice in return, in my eyes. So I think he agrees, and I think he'll be able to put that out.
When Joe Woods talks about you coming off the edge 2 feet from the ground, is this one of the things that you worked on in the offseason, just being more bend and explosiveness of arms? Tell us about that.
Not really. I don't think I worked any football drills this offseason. I'm laughing, but I'm serious.
Oh, you're serious? Okay. So this is just what you always do, right?
It's a little combination of what I always do and working with some different people with some different exercises that aren't completely football related but can be applicable and have shown to have uses on the field and off the field.
But you won't share your secrets, right?
Well, you got to see if they work first.
Would you say that's your best attribute, Myles, is your bend?
That's what everybody likes to say. That's what everybody sees. I either chop a guy's hands down or I swipe and I start bending. I got to start using some more moves. So somebody can say my bag is a little bit deeper and stop hearing all this bend talk.
So the spin's coming, and I know the bull rush is there, right?
And spin, long arm. I got to start mixing it up. I just saw Vaughn do 2 moves where no one touched him, so I need to start doing some stuff like that.
We've been asking guys, what they expect from Baker on Sunday. What should Baker expect from you guys defensively?
A pleasant outing on this beautiful North Carolina afternoon.
It's not supposed to be beautiful, by the way. It's supposed to be
Oh, you're all right. It's supposed to storm a little bit.
Yeah.
It'll be beautiful for us.
When you're going up against a young guy that doesn't have a lot of NFL snaps, do you go back and kind of look at him when in college? What's that research kind of like?
I try not to, just because you're under different coaching and you're getting a lot of teaching points that are related to the guys around you and learning to work with them. In college, a little bit more freestyle in some ways. You have to be able to work with your guys to negate some rushes and qualities that guys have and blitzes that you're going to face that you might not see on the college level. So I try to keep it to whatever film I have of him in the pros, whether that's like this case, preseason, or the games that have occurred prior. So it's not a lot to go off of, but you can get a pretty good feeling of a guy just from a little bit of film.
Myles, I know you bounce around the line some, and obviously the offense is so aware of where you are. But do you see whether it's a quarterback or the lineman pointing out where you are before every snap to make sure
they have you accounted for?
Oh, I don't even notice what he's doing.
Yeah.
I try not to look at him. I try to look at the formation or how guys' feet are located and their hips, how low they're sinking to the ground, where their eyes are at. I'm looking at little stuff like that. Whether he's pointing at me or not, I feel like I'm going to get the slide most of the time. So I'm just assuming, I'm going to get a couple of guys my way regardless.
But you don't know ahead of time for sure. 2 guys are coming or a chip's coming. Like you just have to kind of take that on.
I mean, if I see the back on my side and he's looking at me, or I see the tight end and he's looking at me, I'm like, yeah, probably.
What's the last one?
Myles, as the vocal leader of this team, what message do you have for your teammates heading into this season?
Want to know each week. That's all that matters. No matter how you get it done or what the score says. As long as we're up, hey, we're all just moving forward. We don't have to worry about last week. Don't worry about the next week. Just want to know.